Hello, it's the manifestation goddess Nadia.Rucker here, Nadia Victoria. I want to pay homage to my grandmother Victoria Carswell, who is like one of my heroes, even though she isn't here with me. I feel her presence around me all the time, and it's also my mother's middle name, Victoria. And there are a couple of other people in my family with the middle name of Victoria. So, hey, Nadia Victoria here. And I'm also your real estate homegirl. I didn't say that. Today, I'm going to be talking about something that's going to be quite sensitive and might be a little triggering. The topic is going to be still inner child healing, but it's going to be surrounded by the topic of sexual trauma. Okay, so if that is triggering, if that's a soft spot for you, if you're not ready to address and deal with that, please go ahead and exit now. But do know that I do have links in the description box for the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, as well as the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Association. Both of their 24/7 hotline numbers are there. They are free to use, free resources. And that's for anybody that's looking for additional individualized therapy or counseling. Those links are there for you. But dear God, I invite you in now to just protect me as I try to send out a message that is somewhat very triggering for a lot of us. It's very sensitive. And so God, I ask that you will just word my mouth so that it will be a session of healing. God, any blocks, any negativity that people are trying to send this way, we return it back to them 100-fold. Thank you. Amen. All right. So I want to just start with this prayer. It's the serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Again, I have braces in my mouth, so you may hear a lot of S's and a few words may be pronounced incorrectly, but I'll try to correct it. But if not, y'all take it for love. It's the braces. So you're going to hear the S's, and for some reason today, they are hurting my mouth. I don't know. I guess the spaces are closing up. It's doing what it needs to do. But okay. Sexual trauma with children. It's one of the most damaging and lingering traumas that a child can experience. And if you've ever experienced it, I want to applaud you for still standing today. It's a hard thing to kind of accept and deal with. And you may not, just like any of the other things that we have discussed, truly recognize how it impacts and how it has affected you to this day. But because I am the manifestation goddess, and I want you to manifest abundance in all areas of your life, I know that even some of the most sensitive of topics and some of the most traumatic topics need to be addressed. They need to be addressed. We've swept it under the rug long enough. I don't care who feelings I'm hurting. I don't care who toes I'm stepping on. You'll be okay. It's time to heal. Like I said, we've swept it under the rug. We pretended like it doesn't exist. We walk around here from day to day, especially in minority communities, and we act as if it's not something that has happened to us. And we act oftentimes like it wasn't our uncle, it wasn't our cousin, it wasn't our sister, our brother, whatever. And no, it doesn't just happen to women. It happens to men too. So this is for everyone that has either been a victim of, or as a child, or as a child, you were the perpetrator. So whether you were the victim or the perpetrator, what I have found is that oftentimes the perpetrator was also a victim at one point too. So many of us that have hurt, and I said this the other day, hurting people hurt people. It's learned behavior, it's passed down behavior. And the crazy thing is, for some of us that, some of the families that, some of us, I'm just gonna keep it just like that. Some of us that have been through this had parents that knew about it, but did nothing about it. And let me tell you, they probably didn't do anything about it because it happened to them. They were probably a perpetrator to another little cousin or whatever. So when it happened to you, it hit them dead in their face and they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to handle it because they wasn't even healed from what happened to them. They haven't even confronted that. They've just swept it in the back of their mind, swept it under the rug, thinking that it wasn't ever going to hit them in the face again. So I don't care if you're 65, 70, 80 years old. Today, 30, 40 years old, today. Your inability to stand up and get help for yourself or to go to the person that you may have hurt and try to correct it caused you to then reproduce children that went through the exact same thing that you went through. And again, we gotta stop it somewhere. So to those of you who had it happen to you, it's time to be free. It's time to be free. Because if you don't become free, you're going to continue this cycle. You're going to continue hurting people. You're going to continue choosing people to be in your circle, that are hurt. You're going to continue to choose partners that can't love you because, like I said the other day, the partner you're going to choose more than likely is going to be emotionally unavailable, an abuser, something. Because you're broken and you don't even know how to choose a healthy partner. But in order for you to know what that looks like, you got to address this. It wasn't something that should have happened to you. And on behalf of your perpetrator, I'm pretty sure they're probably broken and need healing too. So there's no excuse for you going through what you went through. But I'm just saying that hurting people hurt people. And oftentimes when you look back at the lineage, it is a passed down behavior, generational. Are you ready to break generational curses? Are you ready to set yourself free so that the next generation and the generations to come can be loved more appropriately and loved more realistically and more with their heart? Because you know what? After you've been through sexual trauma, it's hard for you to love. It's hard for you to even show love. You know, you ever hug somebody and they stiff back and all that. They don't know how to love. That's one of the examples of a person that's broken. I can't say that it's necessarily sexual trauma, but it's just that indication of how some people, when they're so traumatized, they can't even embrace true love. And I'm not talking about true love just in an intimate relationship. They can't even embrace true love from someone that works with them, that's just like a very loving and giving person. When they come up to you and hug you, they're coming in with all the love that they have, and you're still back because it's not comfortable to you. Like, oh, a hug, that love is real. That's genuine. I don't know what genuine love is. This feels crazy to me. Like, what in the world? And when somebody does genuine love us and care for us, when we have gone through sexual trauma, we push those people away. Because there's no way you can love me. There's no way you can love my broken behind. I done been through all this, all the sexual trauma I done been through. My daddy done molested me. Man, my auntie molested me. That's for young boys. My cousin molested me when I was 10 years old, 12 years old. And she was 17. She was 21. And she molested me when I was 12 or 13. My uncle used to come into my room and try to have sex with me or touch me inappropriately. And told me not to tell anybody. And because you were afraid, you hushed your mouth. And you feel like even to this day sometimes, your voice does not matter. Your voice does not matter. But it does. It does. I'm here to tell you it does. And there was a time that maybe your voice didn't matter, but today your voice matters. It matters. Speak your truth. Heal from it. I don't know. I just felt this aura. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I just feel a spiritual presence right now. I tell you, I feel it. And I send healing light to you guys. I send healing power to you. I send healing power to you. Your voice matters. They told you to shut up. Don't you tell your mama. Don't you tell your daddy. Don't you tell nobody. And you've kept that secret for many, 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 many years. I want you to be free. Your voice matters. You don't have to be silent anymore. You don't have to be quiet anymore. Be free. That child in you wants to heal. Wants to heal. I want you to imagine that little bitty you, however old you were, hurt, scared, no voice, feeling powerless. I want you to look at you as that little kid. And I want you to tell her, I promise you that I'm going to heal so that we can live as an adult free. We're going to be free. We're going to be free because I am going to fix this. I'm working on this starting today. And for those of you who were bold enough, even in your fear, and you went to an adult and you told them, or it could have been your mother, that you went and told her, and she dismissed it as if you said nothing, and she allowed it to continue because of her brokenness. I want you to look at yourself in your mind. I want you to see yourself scared, afraid, hurt, disappointed, silenced. And I want you to tell yourself, we are okay. We are going to heal. And we are never going to let anybody else and our immediate family, none of our seed, none of my seed, will be unable to come to me honestly and candidly hurting, whether it be sexual trauma or any other trauma, and I sit back and say nothing and do nothing. It has happened too many times. You can see it. Look at your life. Look at your life and how you've achieved things. Yes, you have achieved some things, but you had bigger dreams. You have bigger goals. But every time you start, you stop. Every time you start, you share it with somebody and they give you some negativity and bring you back down. And you go back into that silence mode, scared, hurt, unable to come out of this shell of pain and hurt, of not being heard, being silenced, in your pain, silenced. That's what we look to our parents for. That's what we look to our teachers for. That's what we look to our pastors for. That's what we look to our deacons for. That's what we look to our aunts and our uncles and our big cousins for help. We've been crying out for help to people who wouldn't help and didn't know how to help because they were products of the same environment. They told you, no, don't say nothing to him. No, don't do nothing to him. No, we're not going to call the police. No, we're not going to handle this. So you've learned like your voice doesn't matter. Your pain doesn't matter. Your hurt doesn't matter. It does matter. I want you to tell yourself, I matter. Even if my mother didn't think I mattered. Even if my daddy didn't think I mattered, even if my cousin, my uncle, my teacher, the school counselor, whoever, if they made me feel like I didn't matter, that changes today. I matter. And I matter enough to heal. I matter enough to look at that little girl, that little boy that I was when I went through this and tell him, I'm committed to our healing. We're going to get through this together. And not to speak of, Lord have mercy, pastors and deacons. It hurts me to think of sometimes even in the church, it happens. We got pastors molesting kids. And that's something that really irks me. We push religion and all of this, and oftentimes we even know what's going on, but we sit back and hide behind a title. Oh, that's evangelist. That's first lady, or that. Man, y'all, I'm trying to tell you. And another thing, I do curse. And if it come out, it come out. And if you don't like it, log your ass off. But you hide behind these titles. Everybody in the church want a damn title. Be a title. Chase this title. I am healed title. Chase that title. Because what in the world is it for you to be missionary, minister, and you ain't healed? Chase healing. Stand up to yourself. Stand up and take ownership for the things that you have done and ask for forgiveness. And be glad you ain't in jail. Get it right. Deal with your own hurt and your pain, because you were hurt, you were full of pain, so you hurt a lot of people. That title don't mean nothing to me. I don't care. I worked in hospitals with doctors. And you know what? I'll tell them just the same thing. I might be a social worker, but I'm ethical. And what's right is right. And you're not going to just, oh, because I'm the social worker. Oh, no. That's wrong. Give that man his medication. This psych patient in a hospice unit. And you're going to tell me you're not going to give him his psych meds? No, give him his psych meds because he got to go home to his family. Yeah, I've stood up to doctors before too. And I don't care what your title is, apostle, whatever. Because that's where a lot of people get hurt, in that church. And by people who are church people who are hiding the fact that their child has been molested. All the damn girls have been molested. All the boys have been molested by their own damn daddy, by the deacon on the deacon board, by the pastor. But y'all so caught up in titles. I don't care, because you mad at me? You mad at me? Be mad at yourself. Be mad enough to do something about it. Be mad enough to make some changes. Be mad enough to make some changes. Be hurt enough to start healing. Because what is all of this title? Oh, I'm in church Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But my home is a damn mess. My child, I'm too busy in church. I don't care what's going on with them. But I'm hiding behind this title and this facade and this image I'm trying to put on for other people. I don't care nothing about your title. I don't care nothing about I don't care nothing about you being blood to me. I don't care nothing about you being my friend or in my circle. Used to be, because I really don't have a big circle right now. It's me, God, my guardian angels, and my spirit guides. And you know what? When our family members return to their spiritual form, a lot of them wish they would have done something differently, and they didn't. So that's why I got them behind me too. My ancestors, my deceased loved ones, they behind me too, because they want to break these curses. They want to break these curses. Your grandchildren are at stake. Your grandchildren are at stake. You owe it to your child to call them and tell them, I'm sorry. You may not like what they say, but you're going to have to swallow it. When I picked up the phone and called my kids and told them I apologize that y'all saw me fighting these men and you saw them hurting me and all this, and you saw me hurting them, that was not the example that I wanted to set for you guys. But I know it affected you. And the things that they said to me, all I could do was accept it, apologize, and tell them, now you have your children. Let's cut this cycle out. Let's stop this. Let's stop this. And if you started it, let's get you some help. Let's heal. So you owe it to your children to pick up the phone and tell them, Joe Blow, this is your mother. This is your father. This is your uncle. This is your cousin. I apologize. It was learned behavior. It was learned behavior. So we don't understand that when we go through sexual abuse or when we are fighting in front of our kids, they're 9 times out of 10 going to pick the same type of people. If you had physical abuse in your relationship and your son and your daughter didn't have physical abuse, then you are one of the few that made it through, and God bless you. But people are products of their environment until they recognize, I have to get the hell out from around here. I have to change. I have to be committed to me because I want to be the best version of myself. I owe it to myself. I owe it to my children. I owe it to my grandchildren to come to address this. I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. It comes back full circle. You're gonna face it. You're gonna face it. You can think you're healed, and then here you go. Your daughter's in the hospital because a man done knocked her teeth out. You sat up here and tried to pretend it never happened. Now your son is in the hospital for trying to commit suicide. There's nothing wrong with sex when it's two consenting individuals. And let me go as far as to say two consenting individuals in the same age group. You can't have a child that's 10 and a damn 25-year-old. That's not okay. Can't be a 5-year-old and a 18-year-old. No, that is not okay. It can't be a 56-year-old and a damn 12-year-old. That is not okay. That's not okay. Sex is a pleasurable thing. Again, when it's two consenting adults and you're not taking advantage of someone. You're not abusing and hurting someone. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your children to apologize and make corrections. And say, for instance, if that person is dead and gone that you hurt, write them a letter. If you're not even strong enough to face your abuser, you can write them a letter just to let it off your chest. Your chest. Yeah, it is chest. This, as the braces got me not even realizing if it's chest, like the game, or chest. It's chest. Let it off your chest. And that's part of the healing process, part of the releasing process. Goes back to that prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. I cannot change what happened to me as a child. I can't. I can't erase that. It happened. I can't lie to myself. It happened. But give me the courage to change the things I can. The courage to change the things I can. You know what I can change? I can change how I'm dealing with it. I can change the fact that I'm no longer just going to keep it in the back of my subconscious where I was hurt, that hurt child still in my subconscious. What I want to change is I want that healed child to be there. That's the change I want. I want that healed child to be there. So when I look back now, it doesn't hurt anymore because I've healed from it. I've accepted it, that it happened to me, but I was courageous enough to face it and heal from it. Face it and heal from it. The healing process is a lifelong journey. There's always going to be something to heal from. There's always going to be something to learn. I cannot tell you that just by listening to this video and saying I am healed, that the sexual trauma that you experience is going to go away. No, it's probably going to come a little bit more full circle for you. But do things like prayer and meditation and release it. You know what? Reach out to your therapist and your counselor. Get you some help. Get you some help. If you can't do it on your own, get you some help. Get you some help. You can start by just getting you a sheet of paper and writing down your feelings. Writing a letter to your abuser and telling them how it made you feel. What they did to you was wrong. But then you know what? I also want you to write yourself a letter to that little kid to the kid version of yourself. Write a letter to yourself and tell them, I am committed to our healing. Yes, this happened to you, but we're going to heal one day at a time. And then the end of the serenity prayer says, I'm going to go back, courage to change the things that I can and the wisdom to know the difference. I need the wisdom to know that there are things that I can change and there are things that I cannot change. I cannot change what happened in the past. I can only change my reaction to it. I can only change that I am healing from it till I am healed from it, till I can look back and it's no longer something that when I think about it, I start hyperventilating. Or when I think about it, I think about how it's affecting me now, because it should not continue to affect you ongoing once you start the healing journey. The wisdom to know the difference. The things I can change, I will change. The things that I can't change, I have to accept it. But I have to accept that I must change in the fact of the matter that I gotta heal, because my future is at stake. My abundance is at stake. I can't get to prosperity and abundance in my life with all this baggage, with all this pain, with all this hurt, with all these things from my past that I don't even realize. I'm stuck. Like, why is it that as soon as I start something, it goes awry, or as soon as my relationship feel like it's going well, it's back and over here in this corner? Like, I take 2 steps forward and then I take 10 steps back. It's all of this stuff. It's all because nobody listened to you. Nobody cared enough. It didn't seem like they cared enough. They silenced you. They told you you didn't matter. In essence, they said you don't matter. In essence, they told you your voice doesn't matter. That's one of the reasons why you can't move forward. Cleanse yourself. Start taking you some saltwater baths, some sea salt, or some Himalayan salt, some iodized salt, and just start washing and cleansing yourself. God, remove all this toxic and this energy, and keep doing it. Keep doing it. Read up on salt. It's very purifying and removes toxins and negativity. Start doing those things. And then after you do that, you're removing the negativity. Now put some positivity back in. Get you some take your love bath. Show love to yourself. Put you some rose petals in there. Get you some pink candles. Put you some essential oils, some love oils. Just take it and just wash yourself. I am worthy of love. I am deserving of love. My past no longer holds me bound. And if you don't even want to do the bath, then just get you some love oil, some lavender oil, something that represents love coming back into your life, and just starts covering yourself. Pray over yourself from head to toe and from your toes back up. I am worthy and I am deserving of love. I am worthy and I'm deserving of love. My past no longer holds me bound. I break every tie, every curse. I break every generational curse. Pray it over yourself. And you can't wait till nobody else do it. Y'all remember that song, Sometimes You Gotta Encourage Yourself? Sometimes you gotta heal yourself. Sometimes you gotta heal yourself. So as we close out tonight, because I'm over my time frame, I want you to just put your arms around yourself and tell yourself, I am manifesting abundance in my life through healing. I am manifesting abundance in my life through healing. I am manifesting abundance in all areas of my life through healing. My voice matters. I matter. Manifestation Goddess and your real estate homegirl is signing off. I love you guys.